Is the Chinese year of the horse. Do you think that it could be also the year of the horse, of the Cavallino in Formula One?
Well, I really hope so. I mean, it's obviously, for me, I've been many years with the team, and I'm waiting for the year of the horse since the first year I joined the team. So I hope that this year is our one, but surely we are against very tough competition. I think Mercedes is quite a bit ahead at the moment, but little by little, I think we can catch them.
The Chinese year of the horse. Do you think that it could be also the year of the horse, of the Cavallino in Formula One?
Well, I really hope so. I mean, it's obviously, for me, I've been many years with the team, and I'm waiting for the year of the horse since the first year I joined the team. So I hope that this year is our one, but surely we are against very tough competition. I think Mercedes is quite a bit ahead at the moment, but little by little, I think we can catch them.
And do you already have a good idea, also with the experience from last week, how you're gonna manage the battery on that long straight here?
Yeah, we have an idea, but then there are obviously always scenarios in which you are not completely ready, which is the fight with the others, what your opponent is going to do, when he's going to use the boost button, where, and these are scenarios that moves constantly, because as a competitor we will want to surprise our competitors, and so you are not necessarily ready for these kind of scenarios.
And will we see the Macarena rear wing this weekend?
For now, I don't know.
Charles, always positive to start the year with the trophy. I know when we were speaking in Australia you were talking up Mercedes' advantage throughout the weekend, but do you think Ferrari have the potential to really take the fight to Mercedes as the season goes on, from what you saw in Australia and what's in the pipeline?
I really hope so. In qualifying, it's going to take a lot of work in order to change the advantage that they have. I mean, 8/10 in Melbourne was absolutely huge. I don't expect it to be much closer here. Closer for sure. There are things that we are optimizing that we haven't optimized in Melbourne, etc. So it will get better, but they still have a significant advantage. In the race, we are closer, so I hope that starting from this weekend, we can put them under a bit more pressure.
Thank you.
Yeah, and talking about here and maybe the specifics of this track with some slow speed corners, might they help? And also, because it's a sprint weekend, understanding your package, and it feels like you guys have a good understanding of your package. Does that enable you to hit the ground running here, and how key is that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely we have a bit of we've done a massive amount of work in the background, let's say, to be ready for a weekend like this, because it was already a massive amount of work for a normal weekend, so to be ready with those cars that are so complex that on a sprint weekend is probably double the work, because you've got very few laps before needing to be optimum for qualifying. So it's going to be a huge challenge for everybody, and I think in the past or last year, one free practice session wasn't such a problem. I mean, you could be suboptimal because of setup by 1 or 2 tenths. Here, being suboptimal with the engine could mean 5, 6, 7 tenths, which is so it's going to be very important to do a good job during FP1 and to be ready in sprint quali in order to have the best result.
Carlos, good to see you. Not the start to the 2026 season that the team would have wanted, but what do you take from that opening weekend of the year?
The main thing is that it's clear to us, that we need to improve in every area of the car, and we clearly are not where we wanted to be, and clearly not happy about the weekend in Australia, but it's just given us all the indications of where we are weak and where we need to improve.
Do you think there are some easy wins to find some pace over the next few races, and what about the development plan for the car going forward?
I think in the very short term, so the next 2 races, I don't think there is much. I think our performance will not vary from what you've seen. I'm more hopeful that going into that let's say second quarter of the season, we'll start seeing some progress.
As a team, we are disappointed where we've started, but it's just how it goes sometimes. We've got a clear plan to come back. I think the gap to the top of the midfield even is quite large, so we do need to we know where the issues are, and I think it will take a bit of time, maybe a little bit more than we would like, but we have a clear strategy to get back.
And a similar question to the one I asked Max. Do you think the gap was exacerbated in Albert Park? Do you think you'll be closer here?
Truthfully, I think maybe we'll be a bit further away here. I think this kind of track doesn't normally suit us. If you look at last year, we were quite strong in Melbourne. That track normally goes well for us, and when I look at last year, we fell back in China. So I think we still have similar characteristic issues as we'd had last year as well. So this track's quite front limited, and it exposes cars that have a bit of understeer, and I think we'll have that this weekend.
Nico, a shame to see what happened on your side before the race in Australia, but still a really positive way for Audi to enter Formula One, scoring points. How much did that mean to the entire team?
Yeah, no, it was good. Obviously, yeah, one crying, one laughing, it is what it is. Nobody in the team obviously wanted or deserved, what happened. A difficult one to take always if you, get these DNSs. They're not pretty. They're not very desirable. But yeah, I think it's good that at least Gabi had a clean race and obviously kicked it off with a decent result. So yeah, we'll start the season and take it from here.
Does it give you quite a lot of confidence coming here? I mean, I know it's a completely different track, different conditions and so on, but feel like you're in a good place arriving here for your second race in sprint format as well, so some opportunities there.
Well, obviously I missed out on all the race, so no learnings there, in the car. Obviously I followed it closely on the pit wall, in a passive learning way, but obviously what happens in the car and all the management stuff, I'm a few steps behind probably than the other guys, but we'll try to play catch up, just learn quick. Obviously it's a sprint, so limited practicing. But either way, look forward to it. It's a cool track and exciting to head straight into a sprint.
Nice. Thank you.
Did they get to the bottom of the issue, the technical fault, very quickly?
Yeah, of course we did. It was a technical issue. I think we're not going to go further into detail exactly what or how. But of course, yeah, teams working, very full steam and focused on that to make sure we get on top of our issues there. Yeah,
with a sprint weekend, obviously a car which I suppose has been decently prepared at this early stage of the season, you'd think will go better. Do your team fall into that kind of category? I mean, or not? What do you sense? And in terms of understanding the package a little bit from pre-season and being in decent shape heading into a weekend like this with not much practice.
I think we're still very early days and evolving a lot and learning on a daily basis. In every run, obviously now we have one car worth of data, in a race trim. Coming here is a different circuit, so we'll have to relearn and re-optimize with energy stuff. But yeah, like I said, every team, the learning curve is huge now at this early stage.
Just finally, should it be a better track for these new cars? The harvesting and deployment a little bit more straightforward and sort of less unusual for a driver.
We'll see. We'll find out.
How would you describe the challenge you are facing? Because first time in Shanghai, it's a sprint weekend with this new regulation, so it just looks like a huge task for you.
Everything is new. I think I've been in these situations before. I've been 24 with sprint weekends with a car that I know for a few races in F1, so it's not fully new for me, but everything seems very unknown at the minute, and I think it's going to be important to adapt quickly to the car, to the track. Learn quickly this track that is very technical, it's quite tricky, these long corners and a lot of different speeds, and I think especially with the PU as well, to adapt to the energy management and all that will be tricky, but we have another opportunity here and try to make the most out of it. I've been lucky and I've been very quick to react, and that was thank God what saved the car and what saved a lot of parts of the team and what managed me as well to complete the race and to take a lot of data from it. We would have been a big disaster in that main straight, and I was very glad that we could at the end complete the race even with the penalty. It was a good learning to do the whole laps and to do the full race distance was very useful for the team and for myself. So on that side I'm grateful to have done it, but of course that there is a lot of things for the teams to learn, to understand. There is different factors in the races that everyone needs to get better at. The consistency is one thing that no one has yet, and that you do maybe one start and it's good, and you do the after one and it's the worst start of your life, and that's things that we need to understand better and get better at. Still a lot of issues, still a lot of things unknown and that are happening that are coming out of nowhere. And yeah, I think we are in a process of getting through all these issues and things that we don't predict that are going to happen, but they suddenly happen. And I think it's just a race of time, of trying to adapt the quickest we can and try to get on those issues as quick as we can as well.
Yeah, I mean, did it take you a while to process exactly what, I mean, incredible reactions in the Lawson incident, but it's very hard to prepare yourself for that kind of thing, isn't it? I think?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really prepare yourself. It's something natural, you know, that you do, and then to avoid the wall, you had to rotate the car with the throttle, and at the end of the day, it's something that you do naturally. You know, I was quite close to Liam, and yeah, I was glad that then we could continue after that both and to finish the race. But yeah, it was quite sketchy and very close. Hopefully, it doesn't happen every weekend, because at some point something will happen. But yeah, we were ready for it. But of course, still I need to find a lot more performance, a lot more pace, and fix all those issues.